Hello, everybody. I don't know if you can see Heather. So if you guys can hear me, Heather is buffering on my end for some reason. I'm hoping I'm not talking over her, but hello to everybody. And it looks like on the live, I can't see her either. So please be patient with us for Tech Gremlins. And Heather has some interesting games for us to play this morning before we start doing some productivity sprints. So that's going to be fun. Hopefully she can get back in here. So what are you guys up to today? What are you doing? What have you been doing? What things have you gotten accomplished with this marathon? Because I've heard a lot of people talking about getting a lot of stuff done. So, yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, Sky, can you hear me and see me? Maybe? Hoping maybe it's just her end. I hope.
Tech goblins are kicking my butt. So this is a impromptu. There we go. We are back.
And there we are.
Sorry, the internet doesn't like me in Australia. It's very not liking. So if you're new, my name's Heather Salter-Purves. I am hopefully going to be your future dark fantasy sapphic folklore author. And I am going to be running some fun little games and some sprints just to kind of get everyone awake while they're playing, drinking their coffee and such. And this is my lovely co-host and one of the wonderful organizers of the event.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. If you don't know who I am, or, I almost said if you're new here because I'm so used to being on streaming. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kay Parquet. I am the author of the Blossom Street Shop series, which is a series you can check out on my website, which is kparquet.com. And so, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I don't want to go babbling on about it. So, do you have any books out, Heather? I have no idea if you do or not.
I do. I have a Sapphic Hazem Stephanie Welsh mythology reimagining. And I have a young adult coming of age marine shifter queer story. And we are over this course of this lovely event. I've actually been starting to write the book that comes up. Well, not after, it's interconnected, but you meet the leader of the Wild Hunt in this book. They get their book that's coming out in October this year. So I've been drafting that.
Ooh, exciting. Okay. And
yes,
we meet tonight. Oh my gosh, not awake.
Yes.
Sky says she can hear us both, so that's good.
Yeah. So, would you like to play a name that game or a first challenge game?
Let's
You're hoping to read it at some point. It's all right. It's there.
I'll have to put it on my TBR. Why don't we play some question games first? Kind of get people warmed up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can add that in. Share my screen. Okay. Here we go. There. Does that work? Can we see that? Ha! There we go. Can we name these dragons? I will zoom in.
Well, I see a couple I recognize.
They all have actual names. It's not blank dragon. They all have their individual names.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember the How to Train Your Dragon name, but I recognize that one.
Yeah.
And then Smog. Is that Smog?
Yeah.
I don't know the little blue one. I don't know the red one in the corner. Is that the dragon from Neverending Story? No,
No.
that's not Falco.
This is another. No, this isn't Falco. This is another like kids' movie, animated.
Puff the Magic Dragon? No,
No.
I don't know then. I
That's
don't
an
know.
ogre. It's an ogre.
Say it
The
again.
main story.
Oh.
The main story about an ogre. This is the love interest of the sidekick that cooks waffles. So it's from Shrek.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I still don't know the name of the dragon.
Canonically, she has it, but canonically, she actually has a name, which I thought was really interesting. Because everyone's like, it's so and so, and I'm like, it's like Donkey's Dragon, or it's just called Dragon. I'm like, no, her name is Elizabeth.
Okay.
This is Elizabeth. And this
is
Toothless, the Night Fury. This one comes from Aragon, the little blue one down the bottom when they first.
Oh.
Yeah, Toothless is the black one up.
That's one of my favorite movies too. You'd think I'd remember the Aragon one. I love that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So Aragon. This is the dragon from Aragon after we just hatch. Yes, Seraphina. You've got them all. So this is Elliot in the middle, our little green buddy here, and Spyro. They are our dragons. The reason we did this one also is that, as some of you may know, my little rambunctious redhead is the little dragon.
That's so adorable.
So would we like to go on? Yeah, so that's why I thought dragons. So while we think, would you like to answer a question or guess a first line?
Oh Lord, I guess the first line, maybe.
Okay. There we go. That's our first line.
I have no idea.
It's a queer and sultry summer. The summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs, and they didn't know what to do in New York.
What genre is it?
I would say literary.
Summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs. I don't know that one.
The author had a very tragic ending.
Nope. I'm clueless.
Okay, so it's The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't read a lot of Sylvia Plath, so that's probably why.
Not weirdly, nor have I. And I was like, I don't even remember that as a first line. So then we also have this one.
Secret History. I know that one by heart. Yep. Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny?
That's a good first line. Go ahead.
It is a good first line, but I don't like the Secret History.
I like the movie better than the book.
I'm not saying it. And I know I'm not meant to like the main characters, but I just found the book pretentious and overdone. And I'm like, I know in the back of my head that is the whole purpose of this book. But I just was like, no, thank you. Don't like it. It's not my thing. But I can appreciate what it did for the genre and like dark academia. I can appreciate what it did. Just not my.
And that is okay. There are some books I don't like either. That is probably a hot take too. So.
But I'm also very careful when I say things like that because I'm like, I'm going to get yelled at by people. Let's not cancel ourselves.
They can do whatever.
Yeah. And this is one of my favorite questions to ask authors when I go to author events. So I've just been asking everyone this over the week.
I don't know. I hate to say that, but I really don't know. There's so many. And I wouldn't know
Yeah.
which author I would want to do it. Now, an author I really enjoy that would do retellings because she does uh, historical novels.
Yeah.
Sharon K. Penman is a really good one. I would love for her
Okay.
to do a retelling of something because that would be awesome. She's really good.
Yeah. Like some people have had some really interesting ones that I've never thought about.
Hmm.
Mine is actually to get Laini Taylor or Sean Maguire to do Macbeth.
Oh, that would be cool.
I think just their writing style and the dark twistiness would just really work for it. I was lucky enough to meet one of the authors that like fundamentally changed my brain chemistry on dark fantasy. And I asked
Hmm.
him, and it was Jay Kristoff, and he literally went off about that he hates retellings. He thinks they're pointless, and about like why retell something when you can create something yourself. And I was like, very valid question. But then he very nicely turned around and went, but to answer your question, Taylor, I was like, well, that to me is a valid opinion. Laini Taylor. He would love to see Laini Taylor do something. He just couldn't decide what.
I hate to say this. I don't know who Lainey Taylor is.
Um, Daughter of Smoke and Bone. She wrote.
Oh,
She's just
okay.
and Strange the Dreamer. But
Okay.
she's
I
just
recognize the
beautiful.
books. Okay.
I was gonna say a beautiful lyrical, like first thing. It goes from the second Sabbath of the 12th moon in the city of Weep, a girl fell from the sky. Is her opening sentence.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm really good at books, like remembering book names, but I'm not good at
Yeah,
remembering who wrote them.
which is also valid. Just like, do you know who Juliette Marillier is?
It sounds familiar. What
She
books
did
did
like
she
the seven waters and like the Grim Moon. Her latest one was like the Amber Owl.
write?
She's like,
I don't recognize that.
I was just like, because
I
her
really
answer is
don't read as much as I should, to be honest with you, because I used to voraciously read books, but I just don't read them as much as I used to anymore. Yeah,
I could
that book
latch
by
with that
that
one or that
author.
one. Yeah, like that one by that one. Yeah. Well, Juliette Marillier would love to see TK T Kingfisher do Baba Yaga. So like what moves the dead, the twisted ones.
Uh-oh, I think you're frozen.
Move on to yes, my internet hates me half the time. But we'll move on to our other name that. These are castles.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if we can get this up. No. Back. There we go. We're back. Okay. These are castles. So can we name the castles?
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, there we go. I don't know the first one. Are these fantasy castles or real? I don't think they're real. Some of the, except
Oh
for
no,
one
no,
is the
these
Cinderella castle.
yes. So this is yes, Cinderella Castle at Disney. This is science fiction, but everything else is fantasy. Because
Okay, one
I'm a
from Star
fantasy
Wars,
girly.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I don't know the other two up there. Castle Grayskull in that lower left-hand
Yep.
corner, though. Okay,
Yeah.
dates me
I was like,
quite a
some of these
bit.
would give me. So I was like, here's the 80s cartoon. And funny enough, this one and this one are from the same franchise.
From, is it George Martin's franchise?
No,
No?
but this is
Okay.
This is George Martin. You start here in the Song of Ice and Fire book series.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what that was. Was that Land's End? No, Land's End. That's not the right
No.
one. I have no idea. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I thought the
Winterfell?
middle one on the bottom was from the newer series with the I don't know how to say their last name, Targians
No.
or
So
whatever.
this is the Targaryens. No, so
Targaryen.
this is
Yeah.
Winterfell. Yeah, this is Winterfell in the middle.
Oh, it didn't have snow, so I didn't
Uh,
recognize.
yeah, like let's be real sneaky. Um, and there's a talking lion in this series that this one is, and this one is in.
The Witch, the Lion, and the Wardrobe.
Yes.
Okay,
So
I
this
couldn't
is
name the
Prince
castle,
Caspian's
so
castle. I couldn't either. I couldn't remember them when I made it. I was like, oh yeah, that's Prince Caspian's castle up here next to Star Wars. And then this is Janice. So the evil queen, ice queen lady. And to answer your question, Sky, Alex E. Harrow has done a retelling. It's called A Splintered Spindle. It's a little novella, and it's a Sleeping Beauty retelling. And T. Kingfisher's done Hedgethorn, which is Sleeping Beauty. They're both Sleeping Beauty retellings. But I will say, if you ever get a chance to read a short story that's amazing, there's the Six Deaths of the Saint, which I think Alex E. Harrow expanded into the Everlasting as like a book that released. But it's like 32 pages and it's a brilliant thing. And it's like a time loop. And each time the time resets, it actually adds a bit more to the story and the life. So it's like she gets to a point and then dies and then comes back and gets further along her life. And it's just mind blowing. Yes. It's very good. And that's now what the Everlasting is based on, that she came out with late last year. Yes. And also T. Kingfisher has a bunch of retellings. But What Moves the Dead is actually the Fall of the House of Usher. But Edgar Allan Poe is a retelling as well. Because I like gothic weird things.
and that's fun. Gothic weird things are cool. I love gothic stuff too.
I don't know who told the one. No, nor do I half the time. I'm like, yeah, that person with the book. Shall we do a sprint and then we'll come back and we'll do some more questions and
Sure.
the last sentence? And I will go check that my child's actually gone to bed because it's school tomorrow for her. So I will be, and while we're there, we can. Actually, this is a fun question to answer. And we'll be back at the top of the hour. So it's a nice, juicy sprint for people to wake up and organize themselves.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll be back.
Me too. I'll be right back.
we've finished our sprint. How did everyone go?
I got some reading done and bebopped to some music for a little bit to wake me up a little more. That was about it.
Well,
How'd you
that's
do?
good. I managed to get my child back into bed because she had come out looking for me.
Oh no.
Even though there isn't. Yeah, but there is the other parent in the house. So I didn't just like plonk her down and deal with it. I'm like, no, you, mum, like, you need to go to bed. We've got school. Mummy will be in the morning. No. So I snuggled with her for a minute or two. And then just kind of free wrote and went, I'm going to try and see if I can put a novella together of vignettes or drabbles, because that just sounds fun. With all my other big things that I'm doing, this is just like a like brain dump game.
Makes sense. I haven't written in almost a week, so this week has just been crazy. So I haven't had time, unfortunately.
And all the tech goblins are getting everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So I haven't really had time. But I was also dealing with a dog that is a freaking cat because he can't decide if he wants to be in and out or not.
Don't they always do that? My dog does that too, and I'm like, buddy, like, calm down.
I'm just like, make up your freaking mind, dude. Just either lay down in here or go lay down in the living room. You know?
Yeah.
He wants his dad. That's why he's fussing, because he wants dad to wake up.
Daddy's boy, is he?
Daddy's asleep, so he's a daddy's boy.
Oh, how rude. Daddy, don't be asleep.
I know, right?
At 2:00 in the morning or whatever time it is. No, not sleeping.
It's 7 a.m. here now.
Well, that's not too bad then.
No.
But no, not Daddy, not sleeping.
He'll probably be in bed till like 9 or so, somewhere around there.
But yes, so we did have I have a bull terrier Staffy.
Oh, I love Staffies. Staffies are so awesome.
It's my baby.
Yeah, they are. They get a bad rap, unfortunately, but they are so sweet.
Everyone's like, oh, what are you going to do? Because we had him before we had the child. And they're like, what are you going to do when the kid turns up? I was like, not leave them unattended together? Like,
yeah. Like, be a responsible person, like, you know?
Responsible dog owner. Like, not put my child in a situation where the dog's going, get off me, I don't like this, and is being very clear with its signals. And then the baby not picking them up because they're a baby. It is my responsibility to protect my dog as much as my child. But there are certain dogs I just wouldn't have around children. But that is not one. He's not one of them.
Staffies are good babysitters.
Yeah, he just like lays, and then he gets very upset when I leave the house to drop her off at school and come back, and he's like, "Where's my little human?" I'm like, she's at school. So we now show him as like she's in her school uniform, so she's going to school now, and he's okay with that idea. But we've also just come off school holidays, so he's just still getting his head around. Oh, when in the morning when she has a backpack on and those clothes, she doesn't come back for a very long time.
Yeah,
and that's okay. Yes, baby. I'm glad you want to protect the child.
Yes. I think Staffies used to be used as nannies back in the day, and so they're really good with kids. It's just, like you said, you just got to be responsible with them and not leave them unattended. I mean, it's just that easy, you know? So, but anyway.
But I'm also very much when she like go and hug him and he's like, I'm like, he is saying no to you because she's also 5 now. So I'm like, you are almost 6. So she's old enough to reason with. I'm like, this is what this means to him. He's been very clear. It's like, you don't touch the dog while he's eating. Like, that's not going to happen. You don't feed the dog with your hands. Like, responsible parenting and pet ownership. But yes, we had the question of if you could co-author a book with anyone, what would you pick? Okay, so we had Mercedes Lackey. She's been on my list to read for a long time.
She's awesome.
So it's always good.
Really.
I think I've gotten books out from the library like 3 or 4 times and just they've sat there and then I've returned them unread. But I think it's also with big backlist authors. I'm like, I don't know where to start, and they intimidate me in that respect. Like, I don't like big books in general, but it's also like if someone's got 30 books, I'm like, where do I start?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where
I think
do
Sky
you...
said farther down that
Yeah.
the Arrows of the Queen trilogy. I started with that trilogy, and it's really good. So I would definitely start there. And that was my first foray, like Sky said, into queer rep books and stuff like that. And yeah, so
Yeah. But
it's
I'm like,
they're
okay,
awesome.
I trust Sky, and I trust Sky, and if that's where Sky tells me to start, that's what I was like, noted. That's where I start.
Yeah,
Just
and
like
Sky
I
also
would like
says
to try
that it's a shorter
this one.
book. They're shorter books. There's
Yeah.
farther down. I'm just reading it. Sorry. They are shorter books, so they're a lot easier to get into. I know some of her books are chunkers, but the Arrows of the Queen trilogy is fairly small.
You love that he misses the baby. Yes. That's fine. I don't mind going into a bigger book. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is like I wanted Brendan Sanderson at one point, so I think I've just committed to myself to I will start with Warbreaker because I'm like that's where I'll start. But like I know he writes all big books anyway, so I'm like I'll start somewhere. Let's not
I haven't
find the
read this
shortest.
stuff yet.
No, but I'm like that's a standalone within the world, so I don't need to know a lot.
But you don't really need to know a lot with Arrows of the Queen for the Mercedes Lackey because she kind of does a really good job of kind of like an overview of the world without info dumping. So she's really good at that. And those 3 books, I would say you can definitely read as a standalone series and then, keep going from there. But yeah. Yeah, and like she says, each of the Arrows books is half the length of Magic's Pawn because Magic's Pawn is a chunker. It's pretty big. Yeah, I probably won't either because they're so big. And I think the biggest book I've ever read was Ice of Fire, Song of Ice and Fire. That's probably the biggest book I've ever read because usually I tend to stick to smaller books because I like to try and devour them in at least a couple of days and not take months.
Yeah. Well, see, like I have like my proudest accomplishment is I have read Les Miserables.
Oh goodness.
Which is it took me 7 months, but I read it. But I was like, no, not again.
Yeah.
But I'm also in awe of people that can write big, chunky books where I'm like, this is the longest book I've written and it's 75,000 words. And I'm like, I know it's on the shorter side for fantasy. So I'm like, but I'm also like, it's comfy. It's like a weekend read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I write little romance shorts that are considered 1 to 2 hour reads on Amazon. And so because for me, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 44 a couple of years ago, and that made my life make a lot more sense because it was like now I know why I like short projects instead of longer ones because my brain just works better that way. It's like, okay, I could do 15, 20,000 words pretty quick and then on to the next one. So it's not dragging out and my brain just works better that way. So
yeah. Just like Sky said, you don't mind a long book if it's a standalone, but a series, no thanks. All the ones that get progressively bigger as the series goes on, I'm like,
oh yeah.
No thank you.
Have you read the Expanse? Are you a science fiction reader?
No, it sounds so weird. Give me orcs and like fae and elves and magic and all that. I'm good. Like my brain gets that. The moment you go here is an alien, here is a spaceship, my brain goes, I don't understand. But I know,
Okay.
like, I do understand that it goes from very much like fantasy, like here's a world and like a kingdom and courts and all that, and like races of people, of like creatures. But I don't understand how I then go over to science fiction, and my brain just goes, no, I don't understand. However, with that being said, one of my top favorite books, 5 books, is A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, which is a queer science fiction book, but it is just a beautiful character study. It's like
Mhm.
400 pages of just nothing but queer characters that just happen to be on a spaceship.
Hmm. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll do that book, not a problem. But I have tried. I have even done like Let's Go Do Illumine, which is like the multimedia,
Mhm.
like young adult trilogy. I've done those, read them really quickly because they're very easy to get into, but my brain still is just like, yes. And someone's
Yeah.
like, it's because you can't get
Sorry, you're freezing up, so I don't mean to
like
interrupt you.
AI. And I'm, that's fine, it's me. It's like you can't get your brain around this. I'm like, no, but I can do ghosts and stuff. So I'm aware that my neurospicy brain doesn't function or like put across to other things.
Yeah, I was going to say The Expanse is pretty, it's 3 books and they're pretty decent size. But if you can't wrap your head around science fiction, then they definitely are not for you because they're extremely heavy on the sci-fi, as in like, spaceship explanations and all this other stuff, like space stations and black holes and all this other stuff. So it's scientific, that's what I was trying to say, scientific information. So it's very heavy on that. So if you're not used to that,
Yeah.
then that's probably
Like I
not
can
serious.
no, but tell me exactly how you've built a dwarven world like city under a mountain. That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
But
no,
I know
I,
it's a
I
very
totally get
backwards
that.
thing.
No, I totally get it. I
Okay.
understand that. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So do you when you write your romance, do you write like paranormal romance or is it like contemporary normal romance?
It's contemporary, cozy romance. So my characters tend to be, but the thing is, though, I write more towards the Gen X generation because, I mean, that's what I am. So I'm just writing what I know. And I tend to write more Gen X characters, or at least that age range, for like second chances. Somebody was divorced, they get a second chance with somebody else, all those tropes.
Yeah.
But I
No,
tend to do,
I'm trying to figure out what gen
oh, Gen X. Gen X is people born between, I think it's 1965 through 1980. And we are a forgotten
oh,
generation of
okay.
people. So,
I always just get confused of like, am I in that generation? Because I'm not a like I'm an old millennial because I'm
mhm.
in my mid-30s. So I'm like, am I Generation X or am I Generation Y? But I'm
You're a
like,
generation elder
I know I'm
millennial.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an older millennial. I remember when floppy disks were around, but I also remember when USBs became a thing.
Yeah. I remember when the first
I mean,
iPhone came out. Okay. I was standing in line for the first iPhone when it came out, and they were like this big.
I remember them being there. I was very young, but like it's that thing of like everyone's like Gen X's, and I'm like, I don't think that's me, but I'm also not young. I'm in that weird like I'm a '90s baby, like an early
Yeah, you're in
'90s
the
baby.
middle. Yeah. Well, Gen X, they
Like,
tend to say that we are the forgotten generation because we're between boomers and millennials, and we are the latchkey kids that got stuck at home without parents when they were at work and stuff like that. So we are a different breed of people. That's all I can say about that. drinking
Yeah.
out of water hoses, no seat belts in the cars until they became legal or that you had to have them in cars. I remember bouncing around in the back of my grandpa's station wagon, no seat belts. Nope, no
Okay, no,
seat
we had
belts.
seatbelts. We had seatbelts, just but also a latchkey kid because it's like my mum and dad were working.
Yeah.
But no. So this is our last first sentence. If it will come up. There we
The Night
go.
Circus.
Yes.
I know that
It
one
is
because my
indeed.
gloves, I have gloves.
Oh, you've got the story gloves.
I got the story gloves, and this is the Night Circus. So
I was going to say that
that's
is
why I know that one.
that's cheesy. No,
Not quite. I have read it.
cheesy.
I got these because I love the
No,
book. So
it's a good book. Have you done The Starless Sea though?
no, I have not.
I have to say, really like The Night Circus. Completely baffled with what happened in this Starless Sea, but it's very much the same writing.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll
I'm
have
just
to
like,
check it
I
out.
don't know. It's like a book within a book, and then he falls through a library, and it's all very okay, cool
Okay.
vibes. But
Excuse
it was vibes like the Night Circus, but the Night Circus had a bit of at least had a plot,
me. Mm-hmm.
from what I understood. And we also had someone else popped in. Good morning,
Hey,
Teresa.
Teresa.
We had Laura pop in as well quickly. Do you feed the dogs and then went back to sleep? Yep, you go back to sleep. It is Sunday. Our other questions are. There we go. What is your favorite fantasy creature?
Hmm. I don't know. I have a lot of them, like gnomes, typical dragons. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of unicorns. It's probably a hot take. Not really a fan. But I did love The Last Unicorn, that movie. Did you see that movie? It's a very old one. Yeah. So I love that movie, but not necessarily in love with unicorns. Um, Pegasus, yes, or Pegasi are a definite favorite for me too. Um, I don't know. There's so many of them though. What's your favorite?
Yeah. I'm partial to sirens, like mermaids and kelpies. I like weird ones though. I like dragons, but it's also very much of I feel like they can be overdone. And then you get the argument of what's a dragon and what's a wyvern in terms of the technicality of things. And I'm like, okay, we're not going to get into that argument. Just like technically, when everyone's like, a siren's a mermaid. And I'm like, it's actually not in Greek mythology, but I don't like Greek mythology because I don't like birds. Birds scare me. So I don't like the Greek. I don't like the Greek sirens. I like our evil, nasty mermaids. But that then also leads on to this one. A bit different because it's not going to let me do it, is it? Is what paranormal creature would you like to write about? Which is different to. It's not going to let me bring it up, is it? There we go.
Probably evil brownies.
Evil brownies. Ooh.
Brownies, yeah. Brownies are, I think it's an Irish or Scottish.
I want to write evil brownies. Yes. Like red caps. And,
yeah, red caps and stuff like that. Yeah.
I want to write a werewolf. I want to write a werewolf, but I want to do it in a very specific way. And I don't think my writing currently is where it needs to be to write it.
I can understand that.
In terms of like the feral, the loss of humanity, and just like descent into madness. And I just don't think I'm at that point in my craft where I could do it the way I wanted to do it.
Shifters, yeah.
You're right about them. Shifters, yes.
Just real quick,
Yes.
I'm going to have to leave when we start our next sprint so I can start getting ready for mine. So, because I'm right up after you.
Yes, we'll start a 20-minute sprint, shall we? And then you can get yourself ready. Sure. And then I will also go get ready for bed because it is 9 p.m. Well, it'll be about 9 p.m. Australian time when we go off. So I will jump onto the next sprint. Please remember to follow everyone, like, and all that. Yeah, you missed the start, Alara. That's very rude of you. Sorry, it's my friend.
Okay.
Actually, I'm just randomly yelling at someone. No, I know her. She's going to be helping me out with something in September. But yeah. Yeah, you've missed an entire week of stuff, sweetie. There's been a whole week of marathons, 24/7. But no, we'll jump into the next sprint. And then we'll let Kay go get herself organized. And we'll just see if the computer likes me today. Because it has been having right old hissy fits because my internet hates me. How dare you be working and earning the money?
You don't need to pay those bills. You're okay.
I had to do that too. I had a 6-hour shift today.
Oh dear.
You are forgiven. Yeah. There we go. And that's our final question.
Romance is such a huge genre that I could really have a hard time answering that. I do think though that
niche it down then to your like cozy Gen X.
Well, I like Nora Roberts, but she's a really big one. I think she's trad published, and she's really good. And then Debbie McComber, or McComb, or however you say her last name, is a really good one. Those are the only two big ones I can think of. I can't really think of any smaller ones right now.
And that doesn't have to be a small one. We'll jump into this.
I'm just saying I can't think of any to put out there for people to try out because the smaller authors we need a little boost sometimes.
Yes. So we'll jump into this one, 25 minutes, and we'll be back.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and head out. So thank you guys for being here, and thank you, Heather, for having me on. Appreciate it.
Not a problem. I will drop the link to the playlist and Kay's channel in the sprint. Best of luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay, guys, welcome back. How did everyone go? So we did have Kay jump off to go and get ready for the next sprint. So if you're looking, here is the playlist for it. So click on that one, and there is Kay's stream straight after this one. We did have our question of, are you a trilogy or a duology kind of person? And we had trilogies, but duologies. And during it, I showed an amazing dark fantasy duology by an Australian author, An Anatomy of Songs. So it's about an assassin and healer. She hears both the Song of Death and the Song of Life from the gods. Megan White is also a physiotherapist, so she's actually knows that it is possible the way that she is using medicine in there to heal or fracture a body. Very good. It is a completed duology as well. We then have this duology. I'm a duology girl. Laini Taylor, beautiful writing, and it's Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares, completed as well. But yes, I do get some of them cut short, some of them are wide. It is the fun thing. I am more of a duology. So girly. But then I also, how are people writing, like, more power to you. I just know I can't do it, but I'm also a bit of a plantzer still of writing a 4 or 8 book series. That's a big jump as well. But hello as well. You're a trilogy girl. With that being said, you're 6 books in the trench coat, self-help girly. So you're going to be filming today. Awesome. Your relaxation is you are doing think you're finishing this whip, and then going on to, let me see. Okay, so is this your male backpacker, or is this something new? Also, the question I did have before, and apparently it is a tricky question, is this one. And you can niche down as far as you want. And you've got the backpacker. And then you're doing a trilogy, is that correct, Alara? Okay. So this is tricky. I'm glad your relaxation is doing well as well. It is wrapping up my night here. But I don't know if you can see it just here. Just right. That one right there is Prior of the Orange Story by Samantha Shannon. Mwah. So that's very good. J. Kristoff's trilogy of Nevernight Chronicles fundamentally changed my brain chemistry. So I think people should read those. Dark fantasy, but I'm also a dark sapphic fantasy and folklore author, aiming to be on your TBR lists one day. This year you're only doing, and then you're going back into YA series. Okay. So I will jump off now and let everyone save their work, get their coffee, stretch, look away, look back, and go on to Kay. Thank you so much for this amazing event. To Kay, Rachel, and Sam, please make sure you give them an extra big thank you. Also remember, I will be updating this, but there is a survey, so please do give your time to fill in the survey to make sure that they know what you enjoyed and moving forward. But until next time, let's use our ability to let love bloom in the dark. Thank you and bye-bye.